All right.
Oh, my goodness, Don Lawrence. Tell me about the weather, Don.
It's cold out there. It's nipply out there.
Hey, baby, it's cold outside.
For Christmas vacation.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Nipply out there.
Hooter, hotter.
You're hotter. You're killing me.
Hotter.
Oh, Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, single digits.
Smelling, smiling.
It's wow. The laughing gas is going around the office today, ladies and gentlemen. Mel almost fell to the camera because she's freaking laughing so hard. So let's do this the right way. Ready? I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. All right, guys. So it's going to be an informative show today. We got lots to talk about. We got some very invasive, ridiculous questions to ask you. And of course, we got DJ Magic Mike working the Mishta, board on the side here, watching from the ranch. Oh my! Steve Kreitz in the house. Steve, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Who else, guys? Where are you tuning in from? As always, we'd like to know the demographics of our audience. So tell us where you're tuning in from. Are you tuning in from the great city of South Haven, Michigan, Traverse City, Wayne? Where are you at?
Florida,
yeah. Florida. Don and Jeans. How'd you see that? How'd you see that? Jeez, that's pretty good. Pat, what's going on? The great neighbor, Pat Neese in the house. So good stuff. Good stuff. Where else is everybody else at? From the DH, there's Kathy Cordy right there. Cold Central. And boy, Tracy.
Tracy, how you doing after the Green Bay Packers lost? You okay?
He's all right, man. The ranch in Monroe, very nice. I like it. It's not like the ranch from Yellowstone, is it? I hope not. West Bluefield in the house, very nice. Big winners there.
Boston.
And they're from Boston, very nice. All right, so here's what we got. Let's see. Start with the easy stuff. Let's go to, without further ado, the legend, Mike McLaughlin in the house at the Mortgage Minute. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. I'm really pleased to be with you on your 100th episode.
God dang, that joke will never go away. Guys, all over us with that 100 episode business.
That's what it says right there, Scotty.
What's that?
It says he's live with his 100th episode.
Oh, my God. We're still left on the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're technologically challenged sometimes. That does happen, so we apologize for that. In the chat, we got Go Rams. We got Green Bay. Now, Michael.
Wait. Tracy Schultz won $1,100, so he's good with Green Bay.
Green Bay losing. Michael, you're a betting man, aren't you?
I can be at times, yes.
Did you make any dough off the weekend?
No, I didn't do real, but like they say, only gamble what you can afford to lose, so I don't gamble too much.
Oh, gotcha. Most Michigan fans are challenged. Oh, yeah. Albert Mezzo already bringing the heat. So, Michael, tell us what is going on in your world, in the mortgage world.
Well, it's pretty much the same thing as last week. Rates are still under a lot of pressure from inflation and the Federal Reserve. They had meetings today, which affected rates today. It was really a topsy-turvy day. Rates started off improving, and then at the end of the day, they moved worse. But if they're going to go up a little bit, they're going to settle down. As long as we're in the situation we're in, they're going to keep rates low. It's beneficial to keep them low for everybody. So it's all about relatively low versus, when I got into the industry 21 years ago, rates were like 7.5%. And I think only one time in all that time did they ever get close to 7% again after that. And, so we're going to, if I was a betting man, and as we've already discussed, I am, I would say rates are going to continue to stay low, sub 5% for all of 2022. They're going to creep up over 4%, and in some cases they're over 4% now, in some cases, but affordability is going to stay low. That's still very, very low. But what I wanted to discuss with you guys today and with the audience today is we always talk about MISHDA as with the home buying program, where it helps first-time home buyers. But what we don't ever talk about, which you guys have probably heard of, is what's called the mortgage credit certificate.
Okay.
You have to get it when you buy your house, so it's not necessarily for the people who are using MISHDA for their down payment assistance. It's more for that next home buyer, the up home buyer, because what it lets you do, and we're going to get it's nearing tax time, so it's kind of a good, it's pertinent to the season that we're in.
Absolutely.
So what it lets you do is it lets you take 20% of your mortgage interest that you pay. So let's say you have a $100,000 mortgage, and let's come up with a relatively reasonable number. So let's say you pay $4,000 in interest typically every year on your mortgage. Out of your payment, about $4,000 of it is interest.
Yep.
So normally, what you do with that interest is you deduct it from your it gets added up with the rest of your deductions. So it's a deduction, and if all your deductions are greater than your standard deduction by the federal government, then you can use that number instead of the standard deduction. Well, for the most part, you're never going to. They've got a very high standard deduction, which is helpful because it allows some of your income to not be taxed. But if you're trying, if you buy a house and you're thinking it's going to be to help you with your taxes, if you can never get over that standard deduction, then what does it matter?
Okay.
So what this lets you do, we talked about $4,000 that you would have paid for the year 2021 for mortgage interest. It lets you take 20% of that, which would be $800, and instead of it being a deduction, which maybe doesn't benefit you at all, it becomes a straight tax credit. So that 20% does the $800. So you can still use the $3,200 as a deduction against your, to try to achieve over the standard deduction, but you will get $800 every year. So whatever, 20% of the interest you pay, your interest is going to go down a little bit every year. So let's say the first year you get an $800 deduction, then maybe $780, $770, $760. So every year it'll go down a little bit because you're going to pay less interest every year. But it's a straight tax credit, which means that money goes right into your pocket. Now there's a couple of caveats that go with it. A lot of people love to have the tax return. They set themselves up so they get a nice big tax return. Maybe it's kind of a way for them to save without it having to be something that they actually do. And the way you do that is how many dependents you file on your W-4. So the more dependents you file, the less money they take because they know that you're going to have less of a liability the more dependents you have. So if you do decide to go with this mortgage credit, what you've got to be, and it has to be done at the time you purchase your home. So it's a question for when you're actually buying your home. What it is you pay a 1% fee. So let's say you're buying a $100,000 house. Well, let's use $200,000 because, like we said, it's kind of that next buyer, not your first-time home buyer. So you would pay $2,000. So if we said if a $200,000 house has, if a $100,000 house has $4,000 in interest for a year, then let's just double that for $200,000. So that would be $8,000 a year. So you get a $1,600 tax credit, money in your pocket, and it costs you $2,000 to achieve that tax credit, and you get that tax credit every year. So $2,000 out of pocket that you have to come up with yourself, but then you're going to get that tax credit every year. The second year, you will have made your money back.
So that's pretty slick. What's that called again? Tell us what that's called again.
So it's MISHDA, Michigan State Housing Development Authority. It's called the Mortgage Tax Credit.
Okay.
And, I'm sorry, Mortgage Credit Certificate. I apologize.
Okay.
So MCC for short, mortgage credit certificate. Now, what I was saying when I was talking about the deductions, I kind of got off track for there. I went on a tangent for a second. But the gist is you have to have a tax liability in order to use it. So you have to make sure that you claim fewer dependents, like maybe just one. You want them to take less money on your taxes, so at the end of the year you owe money, so that you can use that tax credit. Because if you don't owe money, you can't use a tax credit.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So one more time, tell us for the crowds one more time what it is.
Mortgage credit certificate.
Okay.
In a one sentence explanation or a one paragraph explanation, at the time you purchase your home, you pay 1% the value of the home to MSHDA, and it allows you to take a tax credit for the whole life of your loan of 20% of the mortgage interest that you paid for that year, but you also have to have a tax burden.
Very cool. Very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike McLaughlin is always trying to find ways to save you money, even on your taxes. He's even cheating Uncle Sam for you. You know what I mean? That stingy old guy, Uncle Sam. So, Michael, we're not going to ask you what's for dinner because that would be a 25-minute discussion, my friend. The show is only 30 minutes long.
Well,
Chicken strips.
Chicken strips. All right, my friend. Listen, keep MSHDA in business, and we'll. You son of a b! I missed. Jeez. All right. So, Michael, we will talk to you next week, sir. Enjoy
Thanks,
the tax credits.
See ya.
See ya. That guy does so much stuff. It's unbelievable.
It's been around in Michigan.
So that's for people with 2 homes?
No, for your second home, you can't qualify for the down payment assistance. It's been around for a long time, and mortgage reps used to use that more than they did the down payment assistance, because down payment assistance was you didn't see it a whole lot,
Yep.
and mortgage reps didn't want to really push it because it was a lot. It was actually additional work, and 10 years ago it was a different the process was a little bit longer and took a little bit more, but a lot of mortgage reps, guy that I used to work with on mortgages, did the MCC a lot. So
Yeah.
and he explained it really, really well. That was a really good explanation of it. And you don't see it a whole lot. So
Now, I'd like to give a couple shout outs. First, Shelly Gambino's watching from the one of those city of Dearborn Heights, Michigan, as is Chris Bergeron, one of our biggest fans. But one of our youngest fans, hopefully he's watching tonight, Zach Wojcinski, my cousin / nephew, is I'm trying to think how old he is now. He's playing basketball. So he's a middle school age young man. He's gonna be watching us tonight. He asked if we could say this show is dedicated to the Z-Man. That's what he wanted us to say. So
Z-Man.
Zach, this show is dedicated to you, my friend. All right, let's get into some nitty-gritty questions, folks, because we want to know. We're curious. Do you do your own taxes or do you pay somebody? Do you do your own taxes or do you pay somebody? Hey, darn right. Look at this, man. I have been working out. Not to making fat jokes for a year, so I had to get on the wagon to make it happen. Zach is 10. There you go. Chris Berger, I knew she would know. I knew she would know. So do you pay somebody or do you do your own? Just put own or pay. So Kathy says pay. Trace says own. Facebook user says pay someone. Gotcha. It's only 3 or 4 of you, folks. Again, we're not going to tell the IRS. We're just curious. Pay somebody. Good. Shelly says. Steve Crutch says Zach. That's
The average cost.
I have no idea. They wouldn't either. Kathy says pay. Zach does mine. Yeah, he does. That's probably my aunt. That's probably my Aunt Chris there. Chris Bergeron says own. Albert says own. What about you?
Accountant. I have an accountant.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What about you, Mel?
Oh, I pay.
Pay, do your stupid.
I did it on my own one time, and I got my identity stolen.
Your identity stolen. So watch out for identity. Do my own. Pat Neese. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Second question. This is one of those average American things, right? Do you file early? Like, because I think the window opens next week, right? Does it open next week?
I don't know.
Like next week, I think it is. It's around next week. Or do you wait till the last minute? Are you the person that waits to get that postmark for April 15th, or what do you do? So last minute or file early? What do you think? Last minute or file early?
Or do you get an extension?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Or you just don't pay.
Yeah.
Or
I'm a CPA. Wait till the last minute.
That's because you're working on everyone else's house.
Attaboy. It's yesterday. There you go. Already open. Depends on if I owe or not. Last minute. Hey, listen, Shell, that's not out of the ordinary. Robert Gregory in the house, my good friend. Mike O'Donnell left Michigan today, buddy. Go get him done mid-February. Yep. file early. Crystal presses me hard. Start January 1st. Attaboy, Crystal. Oh my goodness. Normally I wait till the last minute, but this year I filing early. Very nice. Very nice. And guys, we're just curious. We're just curious how our viewers, what they do with that. I like to file ASAP. Attaboy, Crystal. Good job. Kathy Cordy says soon. Very soon.
Soon and very soon.
All right. So next one we got for you, ladies and gentlemen. Next one. This is an interesting one, Don.
Our
It's
topic?
interesting. Yeah, no. This question is interesting to me because I want to see what you know. 1 year Ronald McDonald. John gave. Yeah, you're kidding. Absolutely. Getting a refund. We will file early. Very nice. Kathy says ASAP. Very cool. Very cool. So we questioned this. We want to know what you think on this. Let's see if you can come up with these. What's the lowest? Because what people always talk about, taxes in such and such city are high. Taxes in this city are high. Right? I hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What are the 5 cities, townships that had the lowest taxes in Wayne County, Kat? Not in the rural where you're at. Because I know you guys are down the road. It's way cheaper there. What are the cities or townships that have the lowest millage rates or lowest tax rates in Wayne County? What do you think? Throw some out there. Give us some thoughts. And it definitely is not Dearborn.
No, it's
Not Dearborn. Dearborn is not on that list. Lowest. Dearborn Heights is not either, Ken. You're correct on that. Dearborn Heights is not correct. Mel, what do you think?
Lowest.
And then lowest in Wayne
How-
County. Huh?
How low?
Inkster is not. Inkster is one of the highest, in fact.
How low
One of
can
the top
you
5
go?
highest.
Really?
Sumter.
Sumter, very nice, Shell. Good job. Good job. Sumter's in there.
one of them.
Sumter's number 2.
Belleville?
Their rate is 32 or 33. Sumter's good. Let's see. E-course, absolutely not, Tracy. Absolutely not, Amber. E-course is
Lincoln Park.
E-course is the highest.
Highest, yeah.
E-course is the highest millage rate. Mary Beth says Lincoln Park. No, but thanks for playing anyway. Lincoln Park is not. LP is not, Crystal. Robert Gregory says Belleville. We'll say, hey, how about Van Buren Township, Mr. Gregory?
Part of
Van Buren Township, yes. River Rouge, absolutely not. River Rouge is number 2 highest.
Too high, yeah.
River Rouge is number 2 highest. We'll give you a couple more guesses, a couple more seconds of guess. Chris Bergeron says Radford, Livonia, E-course, Wyandotte, Island Park.
Well, 2 of them
are lowest.
high.
2 of them are high. E-course and Island Park are high. The other ones are not low. Wayne is not low. Flat Rock, no, thank you, no cigar. Huron Township, that a boy, Albert Mezzo. Yes, sir. Number 5. Shelly Gambino, Highland Park is number 4
Yep.
on the high list. Number 4 on the high list. All right, Don. So let's spill it. You ready? On the lowest 5 in Wayne County. You tell them.
The lowest 5. Plymouth Township
Is number 1.
is number 1. Sumter Township is number 2.
Yes.
Northville Township, number 3.
Yep.
Van Buren Township, number 4.
Yep.
And Huron Township, number 5.
Right. Now,
The
guys, realize.
interesting thing is they're all townships.
Yeah, really. Well, because here's why. I tell you that all the time, because smaller government, right?
Yeah.
Smaller government. So that's one.
Part time too. So
yeah.
they don't have a lot of time to make up laws to
Just-
tax you.
That's right. Now, understand, guys, most of those are affluent areas, so they're making it up on the values,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
If your house is $400,000 and the tax rate's 36, well, that's a lot of dough. Now, this is 2021. I think it's 2021 is ours. So here we go. Okay. The lowest our township. Chris Bergeron caught on that. Now, let's go highest. Here we go. E-course is the highest with 78 mils. River Rouge is second highest, 77. Inkster is third with 76. Highland Park is 71. And Detroit is 70. Okay. It's crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
Part of the reason is the values there are lower than
Right.
other
Right.
cities. And
It is, but still, by a percentage basis, that sucks. Still sucks.
But they still have services they have to provide, and they've got to get the money somehow, some way.
So just so everybody can hear, because I hear Allen Park all the time has the highest taxes. That's not true. Okay.
Yeah.
Dearborn does. That's not true. My mom used to tell me, she's like, they used to come and shovel your walk and stuff like they did. Well, they don't now, even though the taxes are high. They still don't do that now. So, guys, we thought we'd just blow your mind with that one. We thought we would blow your mind with that list. We'll try to provide that list to you at some point soon. Okay. Now, let's move on to our deep dive. People talk about tax stuff all the time.
That's kind of what the topic has been so far
Right.
today, taxes.
Right. So we did, and again, guys, we're not accountants or tax experts. My cousin Patrick is Facebook user there is a CPA, so you got to refer to him. You for sure can. But we're just going to talk about general stuff that deals with taxes for home ownership.
And I want to credit Mel for this topic. She she's doing her taxes and wants to find out more about this.
Right. So that's some
Part
curiosity,
of it.
first time home buyer,
First
right?
time home
Yeah.
buyer.
So
So that's why we came up with this topic.
absolutely. So here's what we got. Number one, Don. Number one is easy one. Mortgage interest, right?
Mortgage interest, which, by the way, the federal government was trying to get rid of that at some point in the past few years. So it's very important for the real estate industry to have mortgage tax deductions, interest deductions. So remember that if you ever hear about that in the future, you're going to want to.
Well, think about this. All these deductions are related to home, right? Are related to a home. So home ownership, guys, is a goal, right? It's definitely there's a lot of advantages to being homeowners.
And it's a way to build wealth.
Yep.
So
Mel's idea, she should present. That's what Albert says. Throw that up there.
here, come on, Mel, scoot over.
Come on,
let her
time for
slide
Mel.
in here. Come on, Mel, slide in over here.
She's like, I'm comfortable right
She's
there. But
comfortable
Albert
right
says Mel's idea, she should present.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So
Albert, we've been trying.
We've been trying for a long time. So mortgage interest, that's one. What do you got for number two?
Number two, home equity interest. So if you get a second loan on your, doing a bathroom or a kitchen, you can deduct some of that, or any home improvement, or even if you're using it for some other reason.
Yeah, just the interest. The interest.
Yeah,
right,
home
right.
equity interest. Yeah.
So there's that. So that's one. That's two. Guys, property taxes up to 10 grand. So if you're paying those high property taxes, like everybody tells you they do in Allen Park and Dearborn, then you can deduct up to $10,000. Now think about that. So you're already paying a tax on your house. So the government's nice enough to let you deduct that. It's very nice of them, right?
Yeah.
That's very nice of them to do that for you. So there's that.
So you get some of it back.
Yeah.
So
what else you got?
Number 4, points. So when you get a mortgage, sometimes you pay points if you choose to bring the interest rate lower so that your interest rate over the 30 years is lower. You can deduct that. Usually you can deduct the year that you buy it, not after that. It's going to be that same year. So,
yeah. So, and usually it was at 1%.
1%. Yep.
So if I get 200 grand in loan, it's $2,000. That's a good thing. Right.
Yeah.
So here's one that I think that we dug a little bit in a different sources that we looked at. So this is almost, I think this is correct. Pat, correct me if I'm wrong, but PMI, part of your PMI.
Which is private mortgage insurance.
Right. And usually get that if you don't pay 20% down. If you pay 10% down or 5% down or 50% down, yeah, you got to pay. So basically it's protecting the mortgage company's interest. So you deduct that. That's not a bad one. It's interesting. Now, think about this one. Here's a little tip of the hat to the armed services. You can't deduct moving expenses for civilians, but armed people who work in the armed forces can deduct their moving expenses.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, not
Which is
bad.
a cool thing. Yeah.
Attaboy,
Sure.
see? The accountant says correct. PMI is deductible. Very nice.
There we go. All right, Mel.
There you go. Get your PMI hooked up.
PMI.
So where do you get all this stuff? I mean, you just give them your mortgage statement, like
Yeah, it'll have it.
or
on there.
your HUD statement.
No, your mortgage company will kick you out. They'll send you interest to show the interest and stuff.
Okay.
And your statement. Yep.
In your bank, is there like stuff that comes from your bank as well that
Nope. Should
they're
just
going to
be.
send you? No?
What do you mean, like your bank accounts?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
you-
from
you-
home stuff. No, just be from mortgage company.
From your bank accounts, you'll get interest. They'll send you if you received interest on your money in the bank. Yeah, you'll get some.
So here's another one to think about, guys. Medically necessary home improvements. Now, that might be a stretch for some people. Like Albert, I'm guaranteeing you could come up with some definite, interesting, medically necessary home improvements, my friend, knowing you. But things like putting in handrails, right? Widening doors, putting in ramps, those type of things. You pay someone to do your taxes. I'd imagine you can use that too. Yeah. Very nice, Robert. Absolutely. Here's a couple of like asterisk items I'll think to think about. When you're selling a house, Don, when you're selling, the first $250,000 in capital gains you get from it, profit you get from it, you don't have to claim.
no
Like,
taxes on it.
The title company doesn't even send the doc out. So I always get in arguments with other title companies besides Michigan Title because they're like, well, we're going to fill out this form. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. If it's your primary residence, 2 out of the last 5 years, $250 for an individual, $500 for a couple. That's a lot of money, man.
Yep.
That's a lot of money there.
Absolutely.
See, Albert says, conveyor to the mailbox, too damn long of a walk on my bad knees. Attaboy. I knew he'd come up with that. I knew Albert would come up with a medically necessary 1 point, $10,000 limit, including state taxes, real estate, personal property. There you go. All of it together. Thank you, sir. I'll tell you what, we got to have Patrick Wojcinski on, the accountant. He can definitely listen to the right. And then the other one, here's another divot on tax stuff. So a lot of people don't realize when they buy a home, especially a first-time home buyer, I try to explain this a lot. I try to say this many times in the process. What happens sometimes your taxes were assessed at a lot lower rate when the people before bought. They've been there for a long time, especially, and they get reassessed. They get uncapped when you buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
So some people payments go up all of a sudden. Like, what happened? How come my payment went up? Well, your taxes got uncapped, man.
Yeah.
So that's another tax item too. So hopefully, guys, let us know if this was a helpful thing for you. If it was, put yep or hell yeah in the chat would be nice. If this information was helpful to you, or thanks, Mel. Yeah, give us thanks, Mel. If the taxes was the deep dive for taxes was good. Let's move on, Don, to my favorite segment.
What realtors
Realtors
see.
see. Now listen, I got the last one on this, and it made me laugh my ass off when I saw it. But we got 3 of them, so let's see what we got here. Hang on 1 sec. So let's start with this one is from Mel, I think, right, Mel?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
I may have gotten it from your mom.
Chris Bergeron sent
I
me
can't
this.
remember. She may have posted something.
Chris Bergeron may have sent this. We'll see. Thanks, Mel. Mel rocks. Big ass help.
Big ass Al.
I love Al, man. He should be like our color commentary guy because some of the stuff he says makes me laugh. Big ass help. All right, so here's what we got, guys, for what realtors see. That's not it. There it is.
Window.
All right, so this may have come from Chris Bergeron. It may have come from Mel. We don't know where the actual origin of this one is, but there it is.
See if you can blow back up.
Let me see if I can make it go bigger. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a little rough. It's a family show.
Right.
Can you move it?
Oh, there we go. There we
Oh,
go.
now you can't see
Now you
it.
can't see it. Damn.
You need to move it up. All right.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna shrink it back down again so you can see the bottom. There it is.
There you go.
There we go. Now we get all the technical difficulties out. Now look at that.
Look at that.
First thing comes to your
What
mind.
the heck?
Chris Bergeron said it didn't come from her.
Really?
That's what she said. All right. What the hell? Kathy Cordy, that feels like that's your best line all the time. What the hell? What else you got? First thing that comes to mind, what realtors see. Look at that right there. I mean, that is like a cubby hole at the bottom. I don't understand what that
I
is.
think you can put your dog can hide underneath there or
They
get
didn't
relaxed.
Flood safe. Not a big ass fridge. It's
No,
not a
it's
big
not.
ass fridge.
Think
So
about,
that was a good one.
think about trying to lift that up and push it in there. The awkwardness of it just incredible.
Jeez.
What a crackpot.
Hidden litter
Hidden
box.
litter,
There you
hidden
go.
litter box.
Ew.
Who would do that? People do it.
Space for the dog to sleep. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Under the fridge? For what?
Keep-
There's like mechanical shit down there. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Keep your empties underneath. Yeah, I like that one too.
Space for the dogs. Empties underneath. Okay. All right. So there's that one. Number 2 on our list here. This is Don's favorite one.
This one came from Zach Wolkowitz, but maybe via
Erica's
Erica,
girlfriend.
his girlfriend.
That's right.
sends
They're
a
big
lot of
fans
this
of the
stuff.
show.
Yeah, they're big fans of the show. They were here a couple weeks ago.
All right. So this is cool. First thing that comes to mind, ladies and gentlemen. First thing that comes to mind. Let me try to blow it up again. Let's see here. Go a little bigger. Like that.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you think?
Cool.
First thing that comes to mind.
It's pretty cool.
I would trip out.
Oh,
Going up
beard.
the stairs.
Yes, I'd be like, woo.
Yeah.
So this is the next one right here. It's a set of stairs with a road less taken mural behind it. So what do you think? I'm definitely falling on those.
Yeah, right?
Chris is like, I will fall down on those. I would hate to be drunk and walking up those stairs.
You don't need to be drunk if you're falling.
Kenny says Led Zeppelin. I like it. Not doing that. A waterfall. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Don't be drunk. What the hell are those painted? It's a thing behind it.
Boardwalk.
Yeah, it's like a.
Yeah,
It's like a.
yeah, it is. It's
I don't know, like a
yeah.
mural. I guess a mural. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a
And then
weird
they
one.
cut it to.
It's something like that.
Mhm.
Ay. Unbelievable. All right. Last one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one that I saw this. Before I tell you, I saw this and I just started laughing as soon as I saw this. Okay. And you know what to complete the thing with. When you see it, you'll know what to write next. Went to a house and I saw this.
Complete this.
So I open up the lockbox combo and there it is. It's like a big ass water slide. You're right, it was. So I open up the lockbox combo and there's this right there. Exactly, Robert Gregory, exactly.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I looked at it, I go, 86753 09?
Shelly gave me Johnny. You got that right. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome.
So Don, I went into this house. It must be maybe this realtor's had a house he was selling of his own, because the one wall had all kinds of rock memorabilia on it. I'm like, that's awesome. 867. And I got
Zach's got it. Zach
I started laughing. As soon as I got there, I started laughing. I started cracking up. It was like, I couldn't, people are like, what's so funny? I go, you got to see this, man.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that might be my new lockbox combination. Yes, it is. 8675309. Oh, yeah. Tommy Turner couldn't be here. Yeah, it should be. You're right. Absolutely. All right. So let's get out of there. Last question for you. This one's you'll kind of crack up at this. This is kind of funny stuff. What's the strangest tax deduction you've ever heard of? The strangest tax deduction you've ever heard of?
Right here.
What's the strangest tax deduction you've ever heard of? What do you think? Put it in the chat. I'm looking for the address.
You just had it.
Forbes.
Strangest tax deduction you've ever heard of? What's the strangest tax deduction you've ever heard of? We're going to post in the chat. We're going to post a link to the funny article that we found on this.
Yeah, go check that out.
Check that bad boy out. So Don, give me a couple funny ones from there.
All right. Well, I'm not going to number 1 and 2. I'm not going to deducting pet food. That one really, I'm very surprised by that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
that's expensive.
Listen, I will say the first one. The very first one on that list is, let me give Trump a call. Somebody said CPA should answer that one. Yeah, he should. Absolutely. Pat, what do you got for me? Give me something. Listen, this is a funny one, Don. First one, breast augmentation. So it says cosmetic surgery costs usually are not deductible, but an exotic dancer named Chesty Love tested this rule. If you want bigger tips, you got to go bigger reason. So she tried to claim on her taxes. And it went to court too. The tax benefit was allowed too. So you got breast augmentation, paying your lover, deducting.
Albert Mezzo has got a pen and paper. He's writing these tips down. So he knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on. Absolutely, he does. Let's see. Drunk driving expenses, babysitting fees, free beer. So it says, in a promotional scheme that wouldn't fly today, gas stations offer free beer instead of trading stamps. The owner deducted the beer as a business expense, and the IRS said no, but it's Sullivan versus Commissioner. He won in tax court. That's awesome. Home landscaping, pet moving expenses, body oil.
That one's a weird one.
That is weird. And swimming pool. So we put the link up there for you guys. I'll put it there again for you right now. We put the link up there for you of the craziest 10 that we got. But Pat Wojcinski, how about you give us something else? Give us one. If I go to jail, bail me out. I got bail money, Albert. I got bail money for you. Don't you worry about that. I will take care of you, my friend, and that. Like that. So those are crazy. That I looked at it, I'm like, are you kidding me? But it has the court cases and everything in it. So yeah, court cases and everything.
Hey, before we go, I want to a tribute to someone that was in my life a long time ago that in the real estate business that passed away recently, Larry Keck.
He did?
Yeah. One of the most honest, hardworking guys. Unexpectedly passed away this past weekend. And so Larry, thank you for all that you did for me. I really appreciate it. So
Really? I know Larry. He's a good guy.
So yeah.
All right, you ready to finish this up?
Let's finish it.
I'm Scott,
I'm Don.
I'm Mel.
and we're talking real estate. See ya.